Hi everyone, this is the Language Arts e-learning lesson for Friday, April the 3rd. We're going to begin by taking a look at run-on sentences, page 62 in your textbook. A run-on sentence is two or more sentences that are run together with commas or without any punctuation. Correct a run-on sentence by making separate sentences or by making a compound sentence. Now, again, this is a review of run-on sentences. We have worked on this in the past. You know that there are two ways that you can correct a run-on sentence. One is using a comma and a conjunction, and sometimes simply by just making it two separate sentences. So let's take a look here. The first section, correct each run-on sentence. Separate each one into two sentences. So here we are going to do just that, separating the two sentences. The example, football is dangerous, players wear helmets and pads. It should be written as, football is dangerous, players wear helmets and pads. Let's take a look at number one. In the past, they wore shorts, their legs were not protected. When you read it this way, it's being read as a run-on sentence because it is a run-on sentence. In the past, they wore shorts, their legs were not protected. Okay, you need to have that pause in there. So here we're going to separate it out. In the past, they wore shorts, period. Their legs were not protected. Let me get a different marker. Okay, their legs were not protected. It's a big period, but that's a period, and then you know that you would have to capitalize the T in there. Number two, in 1878, heavier uniforms were used, pads were required. Again, right now, it's a run-on. In 1878, heavier uniforms were used, period, and then pads were required. Again, you would capitalize the P in pads. Number three, most players wore leather helmets, some wore canvas ones. Okay, we want to separate it out. Most players wore leather helmets, period. Some wore canvas ones. Again, you would capitalize that S. Number four, modern helmets are hard. They also have chin straps. It should be modern helmets are hard, period. They also have chin straps. And again, make sure you're capitalizing. Players today also wear heavy pads. These pads protect their bodies. Should be, players today also wear heavy pads, and then these pads protect their bodies. Remember though, anytime you separate into two smaller sentences, make sure you capitalize the first word in your second sentence. In the middle of the page, it says, if the sentence is correct, write correct, and if it's a run-on, rewrite it correctly. So let's take a look. The example, Peter Pan is a great play. Peter Pan is a great play. I have seen it many times. It should be, Peter Pan is a great play, period. I have seen it many times. Number six, Peter Pan is not real flying. We are fooled by special effects. So we can just separate that out. Peter Pan is not really flying, period. We are fooled by special effects. Or if we wanted to use that conjunction, what one would we use there? What do you think makes sense there? Peter Pan is not really flying. We are fooled. What are we going to use? In that case, we would use the conjunction but. So a comma before that. And it would be Peter Pan is not really flying, comma, but we are fooled by special effects. Again, that but is sort of showing us that contrast, that he's not really flying. It looks that way. Why does it sort of look that way? Because we're fooled by special effects. Number seven, the actor hangs from wires and a fan creates wind. The actor hangs from wires and a fan creates wind. That one is correct as it is. Number eight, designers build a pirate ship. The stage itself becomes a ship's deck. Okay, again, there you have that run-on sentence, and we can fix that with designers build a pirate ship, period. The stage itself becomes a ship's deck. Or, since they're both talking about the ship, we could say designers build a pirate ship, comma, and the stage itself becomes a ship's deck. Those two sentences are related. They're both talking about the set, okay, the set for the play. So we could combine them with the comma and. Number 9, they construct huge rocks out of paper. Each weighs only a pound. Okay, even though there's a comma in there, okay, there needs to be more than that. They construct huge rocks out of paper, comma, and each weighs only a pound. Okay, so we would add the conjunction and, or you would make it two separate sentences. They construct huge rocks out of paper, period, each weighs only a pound. They construct huge rocks out of paper, and each weighs only a pound. Okay. Down at the bottom, if the sentence is correct, write correct, and if it is a run-on sentence, write it correctly. So same idea. Rusty went to the Olympics. He competed against other horses. Again, we want to separate that out. Rusty went to the Olympics, period. He competed against other horses. Or Rusty went to the Olympics, comma, and he competed against other horses. Okay. And then number 11. A man rode Rusty in the Olympics. He wore a red jacket. A man rode Rusty in the Olympics, period. He wore a red jacket. Number 12. Rusty won 2 medals. One was a silver medal, the other was a gold medal. So we could say Rusty won 2 medals, period. One was a silver medal, comma, and the other was a gold medal. So there we actually would have 3 separate sentences, but better than that is to have 2 sentences, one of them being a compound sentence. Number 13, we could not go to the Olympics. We watched Rusty on television. We could not go to the Olympics, comma, but we watched Rusty on television. We couldn't go, but we were still able to do this. Number 14, I saw Rusty's picture on a magazine cover. I sent it to Beth. It should be, I saw Rusty's picture on a magazine cover, period. I sent it to Beth. Or as a compound sentence, I saw Rusty's picture on a magazine cover, comma, and I sent it to Beth. Okay. So again, that is just a review of run-on sentences. But now you're going to go to Workbook page 18. This radio announcer was so excited about a new product that she ran all of her sentences together. Help her by rewriting the advertisement. Correct each run-on sentence. Now remember, there are 2 ways to correct those run-on sentences. One is to separate them out into 2 smaller sentences. The other, when it is doable, is using a conjunction. Remember to place a comma before your conjunctions, and, but, or. Let's take a look. Thermish is a new space-age material. It is made of special metallic fibers. No other fiber is like Thermish. It will keep you warm in the winter. It will keep you cool in the summer. It never needs ironing. It won't crush, tear, or rust. Thermish is waterproof. Use it as a tent. It is soft enough for a baby's blanket. You will never find another fabric like Thermish. Why should you settle for less? This miracle material is not sold in stores. Supplies are limited. Don't miss your chance. Order Thermish today. Phew! That was very difficult to do, actually, without any punctuation. Okay? It was one total run-on sentence. Okay? Makes it difficult to read. It also makes it difficult to understand what it is being said. So you do need to go back, read it carefully. Sometimes you have to read a bit of it first before you can actually figure out, okay, where should this sentence end? Where should the next one begin? And where can you combine sentences? So please, when you're writing, write it carefully, write it neatly. If you're finding they're running out of space here in your workbook, please continue on a separate sheet of paper. Don't squeeze it in. Write neatly. Need to be able to read your work, and I need to be able to see where have you added end punctuation and where have you added commas and conjunctions. So please work carefully on that. And when you think you have it figured out, go back and reread it. One of the things you might want to do is to go up into the paragraph here, again, reread it. Place your periods, place your commas and your conjunctions in there so that you can go back and reread it after you think you have it figured out how it should be. Go back and reread it, make sure it all makes sense, and you can understand what she's trying to tell you about this new material before taking the time to write it neatly at the bottom. Okay? All right, today, since it is Friday for spelling, you have your test. You know that you do that in Spelling City like always. Good luck with that. You have Wordly Wise 10E today. Again, being Friday, you have Section E. Section E, you have a passage to read. This one is called Tokyo and the Sea Monster. And you have 15 questions. Make sure that you're answering using complete sentences. And if a vocabulary word hasn't been used in your question, then you know that you need to use one in your answer. When the word is used in your question, sometimes you need to sort of use that word in your answer, but you don't need to use a different word. All 15 of your words do get used in answering those questions. And then today for Fever, we are just going to come together on Zoom and do a little discussion of what you have read so far. But you should be spending your time today reading your AR book. Okay, happy reading, and I'll talk to you later.